Oh, hi there, everyone. Um, I thought kind of dawned on me. I actually am in a position to pursue a case for suing um, certain organizations, namely mental health. Um, the treatment that they have given me was not appropriate. Um, they based it on no evidence. Um, I know that they know my only real window to the world, my only ability to actually speak and have a voice is to go to social media at this point in time. Otherwise, nobody pays attention to me for more than the minimal amount of time. Even people I've known for years and years and years will have their little mechanisms for ending conversation and just basically running away from me. I have no idea what it is they're scared of, but the thing is, what's going on with me, particularly with mental health, it's all being bogged down by bureaucratic red tape. Um, they fucked up. They fucked up bad. And I actually am calling out to any no-win, no-fee lawyers who will help me out in this case, because I have written documentation where they're approving of discrimination against me based on no evidence. And what they're doing is quite simple. They're waiting it out. They think, well, I'm just some arrogant punk kid. I'm gonna screw up when I'm talking in my window to the world. The only person who I can really, have a conversation with. This is the only time I really get to talk for any significant amount of time is on social media. And that's unfortunate because I don't think anybody should be cursed with that kind of problem. Of course, other people have different opinions than I do, so I have to look at my current situation, and yes, sometimes I can be a jerk and things like that, but who isn't? There's a lot of people who are jerks. The thing is, you need, or when I say you, I mean these people, they need me to say certain things. I don't know what those things are, and I'm certainly not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about the things I like to talk about. Um, and I know, in particular, mental health is ready to pounce on me. This is not paranoia because um, I left a few Easter eggs for them. Anyway, the thing is, I'm not going to screw up. They probably think, oh, he's going to have a few drinks, he's going to get a bit lippy, a bit rude, and he'll screw up and start talking a bunch of, I don't know what it is they want me to talk about so that they can persecute me even more than they already have. I know it's not easy for them to admit they're wrong. I know it's something they don't want to do because that opens the door for them being sued. And they don't want to be sued because these are scary people. And when they get angry, they get very angry. And the thing is, they have a lot dirtier mouth than I do. I don't actually think negative thoughts in my day-to-day life. I mean, there's some things I obviously like I like hockey. Um, I'm a little bit into outside of the box kind of thinking. I like, I like chicks, like most guys do. I have my hobbies. I like movies. I just bought Dracula Untold. That's I only saw a clip of it. It looked kind of interesting, so I check it out. Why not? Um, yes, the bottom line is they think they can just wait this out. That all of a sudden I'm gonna, either not change character, but like screw up, get more arrogant, and get this sort of godlike complex, which I do not have. I believe I'm smarter than the average person for sure, and there are some things I know about the world that other people do not. There's some things I could be standard to be corrected, but the point is, if you're waiting for me to start talking about whatever it is you want me to talk about, it ain't gonna happen. You think you have patience? You think you can just play the waiting game on me? Well, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because you're going to be waiting forever. Because I'm not going to start talking about that sort of stuff. And the fact that you don't trust me, you don't want to trust me, and you will be viewing my social media, my YouTube specifically, where I directly talk about things, where it's the words coming out of my mouth, it's what I'm saying. I could understand that would make you quite angry. And some people will go, well, it's not really wise to poke the bear, per se, and piss off an organization like the mental health. There are a few other places I could go to start suing as well, because they use discriminatory language, and they treated me in a derogatory manner, and they were disrespectful, and they refused to understand me, and they were abusive in their conduct. That's a fact. And they think I'm going to tweak out, I'm going to wig out, and go do something stupid so that they can pounce on me, and then they can justify all the bad things they've done because I screwed up. One of us is going to win and one of us is going to lose. And guess what? I'm not going to lose. So that kind of narrows it down for you. Yeah, it's a war of attrition, really. We're never going to agree with each other. Mental health position, I use them as an example. In my position, I am never going to agree with them. I'm never going to think the medicine they gave me was a good idea. I'm never going to feel like the treatment they've given me, or mistreatment, I should say, was a good idea. I'm never going to agree with them. And the problem is, they are sore losers. They hate losing. They can't stand it. That's the truth of the matter. And especially when it costs them some dinero, and it's going to. Unfortunately, because of my physical limitations, because of the medicine and other factors, I'm not able to go out and pursue this a normal way by, going to a courthouse or anything like that. I do not know those things because I have limited intelligence as well. It's not that I'm stupid, it's just the world around me doesn't allow me to know that sort of stuff. So all the technicality, bureaucratic red tape, all that shit, I don't know anything about it. But I do know a great wrong has been put upon me, and an apology is not good enough. Yeah, well, we'll see what goes on. I think with cessation of the medication and cessation with their treatment, I will show signs of physically recovering, and I believe mentally recovering as well, because the medication is demoralizing, both physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Psychiatrists, they have their whole philosophy and things like that, and it's really a throwback. It's like back in the day when, in the Middle East, when the religious leaders would make everyone pray 5 times a day, and they'd be reading these scribbles on, on, on whatever. They'd be reading scribbles, and that was supposed to be their language. But the thing is, it's just a fucking scribble. It's always just gonna be a fucking scribble. And basically, there'd be someone talking, like a clergyman or whatever you call him, I don't know. And he'd beat him over the head, or something like that, if they stopped, doing this psychotic thing of reading this scribbles on a book. And he would say some things, usually anti-Western things or whatever, and that was their religion. That's not a religion. That's just nutty behavior. And that's kind of what mental health is like. They expect me to read fucking scribbles and be content with that. And then every now and then, they don't do it exactly the same way, but pretty much it's them coming along and hurting me if I don't think the way they want me to. And there's obviously an issue here because scribbles on a page are just scribbles on a page. They don't mean anything to me. Like all these websites they gave me to go look at, it's either hammering home their propaganda or it's just simplistic, nonsensical gibberish. Or it doesn't explain anything. Most of the time it just doesn't explain anything. And intellectually I am not stimulated by it. And I don't bother to research what they think. Because what they think is never going to benefit me. Sure, they may have some perspective that I'm unaware of, but these are terribly vicious things that they want to inflict upon me. I've had many years of living in the Dark Ages, as I've said, with physical impediments that, as a healthy young man, I shouldn't have. But they've been manufactured and artificially created for me by people with vicious agendas who know how to manipulate the law to their advantage. And they think they can just carry on and get away with it forever. Well, you're not going to get away with it forever. Sure, for the time being, I can't live the life I really want to live. But that is going to change one day. And you're not going to shake my determination. I know you're all going, oh, we don't do anything. You're left alone. Nobody bothers you. There's no conflict. There's no this and that. But I see a dirty cloak and dagger. I see a dirty hand behind all this. I smell a rat. And I know something's fucking going on. And I know it's a bunch of bullshit. You can't talk to me face to face. You can't have a real conversation. Not without you controlling and dictating what that conversation's about. With pre-planning and all that kind of shit. You gotta put up walls. You gotta set the tempo of the conversation. And that's not really a conversation. That's you exercising authority over me. And it doesn't mean you're right. You like to think you're right, because you can't be wrong. Because as badass as you think you are, if you can't get your way with me, you have to answer to your superiors. And when you do, they're going to be mad at you. And again, the thing is, if it's a question of me being shafted or you being shafted, I'm not getting shafted. So that kind of narrows it down, doesn't it? I can understand you not liking me for that. I could even understand you holding a petty grudge and being a little sore-ass crybaby sack of shit. And you know what? I don't care. I really don't care. You can't beat me in an argument that has some sort of fair playing ground. You're the fuck up, not me. Of course, this video is gonna get less than 10 views on my counter, but so as far as me having physical evidence of certain things, everything's kind of a vague, blurry picture. But you know what? You don't get 12,000 views on another video and then 5 on another without it being a tad bit suspicious. And that's just one example of things being suspicious. I have hundreds of examples, I could say, of where things have been misleading and hard to understand, and just don't make any damn sense. And the only reason it would be that way is because somebody is manipulating the information. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about some things. I understand, completely pissing off an organization like mental health is just as bad as being American soldier in South America with a whole entire village hating you. That they're all really mad at you. I saw it in Call of Duty. I forget which one. I think it was Modern Warfare 2, where one of the guys, he got left behind, and at this point the village was totally pissed off with him. And he gets away still. I don't remember if he gets bumped off later on in the game or not, but I forget the other. I really ought to look back into that video game, because that was kind of fun. I could play it on my big screen TV on my PS4 and have steak for breakfast. This is leftover steak. I would have eaten it last night, so it wouldn't have been leftovers, but I had a sore throat, and I couldn't eat it. It's not that I didn't have the desire to eat it, because it's a very delicious steak with a nice salad, but I physically could not eat it, and that's because of the medicine. So the medicine is detrimental to my health in that regard as well. Yep. So that's the gist of this video, is that I'm not gonna fuck up. You want me to. You really want me to. So that you can lay down that hammer. But unfortunately, I have a surprise for you. I've got lots to talk about, and it's all legitimate, and you don't have to like what I have to say. You don't have to pay attention if you don't want to. I'm not forcing you to. You will anyway, though, because you're trying to pounce on an opportunity. By all means, watch my videos. Wait there, grinding your teeth on your side of the screen, knowing that you're losing and you're not gonna win. Anyway, I guess I'll talk to you assholes later. Have a nice day.